The responsible number one is you for your health. To take medication, read question, doctor, but what about the side effects mentioned here? This aspect is very important, right? According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention in Atlanta, United States, the sixth leading cause of death today is no longer the sixth, but I have to show a published work to you, and the last one I found was from 2012. So I'm sure it's no longer 573,000 Americans who have problems with medication per year, side effects, and a total of 98,000 deaths that in 2011 due to various medications. What was recorded that the doctor took the trouble to believe that it was the medicine, confirm that it was the medicine, communicate with the CDC in Atlanta, but it is much more than that. Most do nothing. It has the reaction. No one communicates there. Those are the announcements. To give you an idea, this is no joke. The side effect, the adverse effect. More recent studies, more recent scientific descriptions show it can become the fourth or third leading cause of death in the U.S. currently. Because in recent years, from 2012 until now, the amount of prescribed medication has been increasing more and more. In other words, more people taking more medication, right? Food. Jeff Brand, Dr. Jeff Brand, a functional medicine father, alive, active in the U.S., took courses. Food is the language that is employed to communicate with genes. How do you intervene or tamper with a gene? How do you silence a gene, for example, a gene that is not desirable? Or do you stimulate a desirable gene? The best way I know, and cheaper, is through food. So food is the language used to communicate with genes. There is a state of nutritional deficiency that underlies all illness conditions and diseases. What does this mean? If an individual has a chronic illness, I am certain that they are deficient in some vital nutrient, and it was one of the factors contributing to the onset of this disease. Where did this chronic degenerative disease come from? She emerged in the individual who did not have adequate, perfect nutrition. I had a debt and then I got rid of it. Thus, this sentence carries a lot of weight. It serves as the basis of all illnesses, a disorder related to nutrition, correct? Pfeiffer was a great American psychiatrist in this nutrition field, and he said, there is the so-called Fifers Law. Read it. For every medication that benefits a patient, there is a natural substance that achieves the same effect without the side effects. Regardless of the medication you're taking, there's a natural substance that'll have the same effect from a symptomatic perspective and will also treat the cause without side effects. Is this a law that you must adhere to for the remainder of your life, correct? Vis medicatrix naturae, or the inherent healing power of nature, is a remarkable phenomenon. It also coincides with the name of vital energy. When your vital energy leaves your body, you have to be dead. What is death? It's when vital energy is gone. She doesn't exist in your body. It's over. There is no electricity anymore. So there is this electricity that exists in the body, this force of vital energy. It has a very powerful healing power. You allow her to act and remove the obstacles that are hindering, it will happen. This is the truth. I really like it, and I'm going to do it here in this course. I am a big fan of metaphor. In my opinion, metaphor is the language used by the gods. Jesus conveyed his teachings through the use of parables. How are you going to teach a frog that has never left the pond how the wave of the sea is? Metaphorically. How are you planning to teach a human from earth? What is the nature of the spiritual realm? Metaphorically. That's why Jesus taught by telling stories, telling parables. Good teachers use metaphors. The metaphor is like this. Now I get it. It's easy for you to grasp. You take a complex subject and I speak to you metaphorically. There it becomes easy. Would you like to experience this? So, let's go. Many, many years ago, and at the same time now, in a very distant place, but also here, a group of men and women rode on their horses on a dark night as they climbed a steep mountain with determination and courage. And all of a sudden, a voice emerges from the sky, instructing to dismount from your horses. Take stones from the ground, place them in your bags, reassemble, and proceed with the journey. On the morrow, as the sun ascends, while it is ascending there, on the morrow, when the sun rises, you will experience both happiness and sadness at the same time. Some were dismantled, others did not. Some took many stones, others took few. They placed everything in the bag, all in darkness, reassembled and resumed the journey. At daybreak, exactly as foretold, they experienced a mix of happiness and sadness. Happy, because when they looked, they were not stones, they were diamonds. And sad, why didn't I obtain more? I have the hope that when you complete this course, you will feel both happiness and sadness at the same time. Happy because you will take many clinical pearls with you for the rest of your life. It's sad because I didn't catch more. Your luck is that it will stay with you for a year, so you'll be able to go back there and repeat. Do you see what I'm doing? I am using the metaphor to start this course. I am currently in the introduction. Is that correct? Yes, that is all. Another metaphor I'd like to present to you. The mind is like a parachute, only works when open. If the parachute doesn't open, the person wearing it will die. The parachute solely functions if it is open. The mind is similar to a parachute. It must be open. So, I request you to approach this course with an open mind, because there will be a great deal of new things here. Study these news. If not yet part of your psychological structure, spend a little time, go to the internet, research, complement what I am teaching. This is a base. This course is a foundation for you. From then on, you don't need me. You can proceed with your inquiry alone. I'm establishing the foundation for you. Right? And another important thing. In human physiology, it's like a game of chess. When you move a pawn, in reality, you didn't just move the pawn. You played the entire game. Because everything is interconnected. Humans are the same. The specialty thing is complex. Cardiologist understands the heart. Pulmonologist understands the lungs. Nephrologist understands the kidneys. It's complicated. This does not exist in practice. This is a very big reductionism. You must know everything is interconnected. We'll provide a nutrient that will impact multiple things. Never mess with only one thing. A nutrient participates in 500 reactions in the body, 600 reactions in the body. Can you envision the repercussions if this essential nutrient is absent, correct? Our emphasis here is on education, not on medication. I will be teaching you all the time how to do it in the past. And when there was no pharmacy, and when there was no doctor, how did people have health? Right? Meds may not solve the problem. There are other paths. Did you see the Fifers Law I just mentioned? If you don't remember Fifers Law anymore, go back and see. Right? I love this quote from Pablo Picasso. There is no construction without destruction. You are going to build a house. You dig a hole in the ground to make the foundation. You cut down trees because you need wood. You don't knock down, but you delegate. Someone went, cut tree, made board for you to use in construction. You will destroy quarry because you need gravel. You didn't do this in person, you bought gravel. But someone dynamited the quarry to remove the stone and extract it. Look, you haven't started building the house and you've made a hole in the ground, knocked down the tree, blown up the quarry. There is no construction without destruction. What do I want to say to you right now? You will have to destroy many harmful, undesirable, and detrimental habits that you have in your life. I can't, for instance, make a person have full health and smoke a bad cigarette daily. This doesn't exist. The best is the food. That doesn't exist. There are nearly 5,000 toxic substances in one puff of a cigarette. Got it? It's crucial for you to grasp this. What must you demolish prior to constructing? As with the house, drills hole, dynamites quarry, cuts trees from forest. Right? Very well. A concept that we will frequently discuss is the concept of the weakest point. Are you seeing this chain there? If I stretch this chain here, if I stretch it, it will eventually break. She will most likely break there, which is her weakest point. Are you watching? It's the weakest link. We all have a shock organ, This shock organ, some people have the organ here. Explain aspect from weakest point for better grasp. Again, I'll utilize metaphor. Imagine the situation I drew here. I was the one who drew, but here is the drawing. Look how interesting. These two individuals are pushing this carriage, and it has, you see there, the square wheel. And paradoxically, she is carrying tires. Why did I put it this way? Because the thing is, usually the solution is with you. I mean, they have the solution. Replace the square wheel with a tire. Problem solved. We provide solutions to the problems we have. When we're given a problem, specifically in health, the solution to this problem is given to us simultaneously. But if instead of changing the tire there to solve the problem, I think the problem is that the people are too weak, and I send them to do bodybuilding, and they will become strong, very strong, and they go back to work, now full of muscle. It won't matter much. Because I did not go to my weak point. I did not go to my shock organ, which was just,